So let's get right into this. And Rob, we start off the show talking about this ESPN poll where they had 17 different categories comparing Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And they polled people from ages 18 on up, 18 to 35, and then 35 and above. Or I think maybe it was 35 to 54. But anyway, Jordan won in all 17 categories, even amongst the young folk, the millennials. And you and I both believe that the documentary did influence some of the younger people to start thinking that Jordan is the GOAT over LeBron. One guy it didn't influence was a former LeBron teammate, Channing Frye. And here's what he had to say.
I'm not going to lie, I wasn't a Jordan fan. I'm from Phoenix. I'm a Barkley guy. I'm a Kevin Johnson guy. I'm a Thunder Dan guy. So as much as everyone's shocked, I never had Jordan on my top player of all time anyways. Tim Duncan, I had Kobe, I have LeBron above Michael all time. He only had really one job, and that was to just score. And he did that at an amazing, amazing rate. But I don't feel like his way of winning then would translate to what it is now. Guys wouldn't want to play with him.
Rob, I'm going to let you have your first shot.
Is this Channing French fry? Hello? He's in too much Crisco oil right now, Chris, because I don't get what he's talking about. I get it. You play with LeBron, okay. You can respect, you can admire him. I get it. How in the world could you say that? I just don't even know on what basis that a guy who pushes you to get the best out of you, who competes, who never cheats anybody, Chris, puts it all out on the floor. That's what a teammate is supposed to be, right? And you got a chance to win every year? Hello, where do I sign up? And then the guy you're talking about, LeBron, and defending, and I get it. You're friends. Can we give you LeBron's history? Kyrie won a championship with LeBron. Won it out. You had a chance to get Kawhi Leonard, which would have made his life a lot easier in L.A. He would have got to play in his hometown, L.A., with LeBron, with Anthony Davis. Probably could have missed as many games as he wanted to the next 3 years, Chris, and probably would have won 3 championships in a row, right?
Probably. You're right. If they had gotten Kawhi, they probably would have. Yep.
All right? He wanted no part of it. And it's the same thing Paul George, who had 2 chances to play with LeBron, same kind of thing, and didn't take either opportunity. So before you go out and run out and talk about nobody would want to play with Jordan, I totally disagree. I think that this is one of those where you can praise LeBron and you can say what a great teammate he was and do all that. But to go out there publicly and say that like there was something wrong with playing with Michael, and didn't you watch it? Steve Kerr talked about it. Not only did him and Michael get into a little fisticuffs, but he also wound up believing in Steve Kerr and passing him the ball in big moments. I just, Chris is so off base. I don't get the allegiance to be that much, to be anti-Jordan. You could say I'd much rather play with LeBron and give his reasons why, but to say nobody would want to play with Jordan, I disagree.
Yeah, I agree with you. I disagree with Channing. And it's just bad history, number one. To say that all Jordan did was score is ludicrous. All right. Obviously, he was the best scorer we've ever seen. He led the league in scoring essentially 10 straight years, 10 straight years when he was healthy and played full seasons. And Rob, Michael Jordan had 6 seasons, or 7 seasons, if you round up, which we're taught to do, 7 seasons where he averaged 6 assists a game. For his career, he averaged 5.3. Now, I've only looked at a few guys, but that's better than Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili averaged 3.8 assists for his career. Tracy McGrady, who's viewed as an all-around player, he averaged 4.4 assists for his career. Would you ever You think Channing Frye would ever say about Tracy McGrady or Manu Ginobili, all they had to do was score?
No, just ridiculous.
And yet Jordan averaged more assists than them. And Rob, of course, you know this, he was a 9-time all-defensive player.
Hello.
So he's playing
not
both
one,
ends of the
not
floor,
two,
right.
not three, 9 times.
Stop it, Channing. Stop it. I mean, it's just, look, and I've said this, you don't have to tear down one of the guys to build up another.
That's what I just, am I right? That's what I said.
Yep.
If you want to praise LeBron as a teammate, Chris, do it. But to say nobody would want to play with Jordan when the exact opposite, if anything, LeBron has been turned down more than anybody. Nobody wanted to come to Cleveland, right? So he went to Miami.
Right.
I mean, those are facts. Am I making it up? Am I making it up?
I mean, you're stronger on the nobody wants to play with him. I obviously think more players want to play with him than you do, but there's no doubt guys have turned him down. There's no question about that. And I think, and one of the reasons, Rob, I think maybe the Bulls could have come back and won 7 is because I do think had they been able to offer some minimum deals, some vets in search of a ring would have gone to play with Michael Jordan, to replace Kerr and Longley and guys like that. So, but yeah, to say nobody would have wanted to play with Jordan that's just off. So what I want to do, Rob, and you and I both think that Jordan's the GOAT. Let's present why. And then I want to hear from LeBron fans. And we both give LeBron major respect. We second on both of our lists. So we're not dissing him.
And we don't agree on a lot of stuff. So for us to be on the same page.
Exactly. So I'm going to share why Jordan is the GOAT. And we want to hear from callers, mainly guys that think LeBron's the GOAT. We want to hear your answer, your argument. I'm going to try to say it quickly, Rob. First of all, Jordan had no weaknesses. None. He could pass, he could defend, he could shoot, he could drive. 3-pointers, obviously he didn't shoot a lot of them, but it wasn't a weakness at that time. And even if you want to just go off the percentage, he shot the same percentage, 32.7. Kobe was 32.9. Do we ever look at Kobe and say 3-pointers were a weakness? No. So at the very least, it wasn't a weakness. If you want to say it wasn't a strength, okay, it wasn't a weakness. Jordan didn't have any. LeBron, as great as he is, has some weaknesses, most notably the free throw shooting. That's a weakness. And he's not terrible, but he's not really good at it either. And it can become an issue.
And it seems like during crunch time, too. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you really need to knock him down.
Yeah, I don't know if he's missed more during crunch. I mean, he's just not, he's 73% base or 74% for his career. It's okay, but it can become a weakness. He doesn't move well without the basketball. That can make it tougher to play with other stars because he has to have the ball in his hands all the time. And then I think he doesn't really have a go-to shot. At the end of games, it's either to the basket all the way or the long three. So I think those are minor weaknesses in LeBron's game. I think Jordan doesn't have any. I also think that the longevity argument, which is a strength for LeBron typically in his argument against Jordan, the thing is you got to start winning. You got to win more. Because at some point that longevity could become a negative. Jordan won 6 rings in 15 years. He was hurt for one of those years, essentially the whole year, and one he only played 18 games because of baseball. If you take those out, that's 6 and 13. If you take out the old man years in Washington, that's 6 and 11. Yep, either way you want to measure it, it's 6 and 11 or 6 and 15. LeBron's got 3 and 16. If LeBron has 2 more great seasons, which he's fully capable of, but doesn't win rings, you're talking about, Rob, 3 and 19 years.
That is not impressive.
Magic won 5 and 12, essentially. Bird won 3 and I believe 13. If you don't win more, the longevity could work against you. Finally, I'll say this, Rob, the super team. A lot of people say LeBron's in the super team era, and that's why he hadn't won more because he's faced super teams. Yeah, But he also was on super teams. That's the thing. Like, Miami was the super team, and they only won 2 out of 4. And the Cleveland, him, Kyrie, and Kevin Love, that's a super team. Kyrie's clearly a Hall of Famer. Love was putting up numbers, Rob. We
big
hadn't
numbers
seen since
before
the ABA-NBA merger.
Before he got there,
Minnesota,
he was putting
right?
up nothing but numbers.
So those are some things where I just think Jordan's ahead of him. That's all there is to it.
When I look at it, it's very clear. And LeBron has all these numbers and stats, Chris, you cannot deny. And he could pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I get all that. But when we talk about being the GOAT, we always we're going to nitpick and look at everything. And the one thing that you can't nitpick with Michael Jordan is he didn't just win. He led the league in scoring 10 times. He was a defensive player of the year. Defensive first team, 9 years was the number?
He was all defense 9 times.
All defense 9 times. So when you look at that, he did a lot of stuff, but he also won. That's the other part. It wasn't like one or the other. He did everything. So when I look at it, the winning to me matters because I think ultimately that's why you play. So yes, you can win MVPs, you could do all this other stuff, but ultimately, did you win when it was all said and done? And he checks all those boxes, and he wasn't on the bandwagon, and somebody else was leading the way, and Scottie Pippen won 2 Finals MVPs.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can't do that. You can't tag Jordan for that. That would, to me, if he won 6 championships and Scottie won 3 MVPs, we got a different conversation, don't we, Chris?
Yeah, it's certainly opening it up to other people to beat him, compete with him. Yeah, no question.
That's what I'm saying. But here it is. It's open and shut. So when I look at everything and I nitpick through everything, it's hard for me to look at Michael Jordan and go, somebody was better than him, especially not LeBron, who, yes, got to the finals a lot, but didn't win enough. And you're right. The super team, building that and not really being special. They should have won at least 3 in a row, Chris. They would have put themselves in a special class, right?
Yep.
With a handful of guys who had done it. They couldn't even do that with a stacked team. And then you can't argue that, it's not fair because the Warriors are stacked. Or what? No, you started Facebook. I mean, you started MySpace, and the Warriors started Facebook, right? But you started it.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad at it after the fact.
No, look, there's no question about it. That super team in Miami actually lost to a team in Dallas that had 1 superstar in Dirk Nowitzki. Jason Kidd was old by then, So yeah,
and Jason Terry had his way, right?
Jason Terry played awfully well, and I always say this: LeBron, we know, locked down the Eastern Conference. I mean, it was just 8 years. It was his, period. That's what Michael Jordan did to the whole league. That's what he did to the whole league. LeBron did it to a conference. Jordan did it to the entire league. And you said it, Rob. He led the league in scoring. He won championships. He changed conventional wisdom. Because remember, when he came into the league, the conventional wisdom was you can't lead the league in scoring and win titles.
Yep.
You can make all-star teams. You can't lead the league in scoring and win. Wilt never did it. Bird never led the league in scoring, even though he's a great scorer. It just didn't happen. And Jordan did it because he was that good. So he's the GOAT in Rob and my book. What do you say, though? We want to hear, especially from those of you who think LeBron is the GOAT. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Here's your chance to present your argument.
William in Detroit, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What you got, William?
Hey, how's it going, guys? All right,
What's
basically,
up?
I think the difference between LeBron and Jordan is that when LeBron was in Cleveland, he left Cleveland. Cleveland the next year set the record for the most losses in NBA history, 26 straight losses. When Michael left the Bulls, they went from 57 wins to 55. So that tells me that Michael Jordan had a pretty stacked team for the 80s and 90s, which was a watered-down league anyways.
Well, I will give you this, that I think LeBron could lift lesser talent higher than Jordan could. I really believe that. But I think his ball dominance, which helps him lift those lesser teams, can be a challenge when he has some real superstars with him. Because then he's doing everything. And so it can work. It can be a blessing and a curse.
The only thing that I say is the Bulls didn't win without Jordan. So if they
were a
won,
really good team.
If they would have won, it would have been different for me. I just think that using two teams that neither one won isn't a good enough example for me.
No, I think that part is clear to me.
I don't.
I
don't think that means because then that's the same argument that people will try to discount about about Michael Jordan and all the players who didn't win during his era, but everybody won during the LeBron era. So does that mean LeBron wasn't great at all? You take away.
I don't understand the connection on that one.
What would you? All right, let's just get to calls because it's a little involved.
All right, go ahead.
Let's go to Kevin in Mississippi. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Good evening, guys. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing well. I'll start off it's my second time calling. I'll say what I said before. Chris, I love your virtues, and Rob, I love your vices. So we'll go from there.
There we go. That sounds like a good mix right there.
All right. But look, my point is I think this is no slight on LeBron. I do think LeBron was an extremely great player. I kind of give deference to Jordan, but this is my point, and I love to hear you guys' opinion on this. The first time that LeBron went to the playoffs to the championship series against San Antonio. First of all, I don't think Cleveland had any business being there in the first place, so props to him. And then the two times that he lost to Golden State. If you replace Michael Jordan with LeBron, does that change the outcome of any of those three championship series? Just love to hear your opinion on that, and I love the show.
But here's my only thing. Let me do this real quick with you. The one that I can't get over is they had no business being there. If LeBron would have won that championship, would you have counted that when they played the Spurs? Did we lose him?
No, the first one?
Yeah, if he would have won, would you not count that? Because you would have said that there was no reason they should have been there?
Yeah, I mean, definitely you would count it.
Then you got to count it if they lose.
Well, and everybody,
because he was in.
Rob, but the thing about that
Rob, here's the thing: it's not always black or white, Rob. You know that.
My point is you can't. You can't just only.
But you do it with Steph Curry.
This is what they did with the Fab Five. The Fab Five. Whoa, you can't expect them to win. They were freshmen. They were in the championship game. And they lost in the sophomore year. That's what they use as an excuse. That can't be an excuse.
You do the same thing with Steph Curry. You say he's got one title.
No, I don't say that.
I don't say that.
I don't say that. I've never said that. I've never said he got one title.
All right.
I've never said it.
All right. But look, it's not always black and white. To say that the Bulls with 55 wins is no different from the Cavaliers with 19 without LeBron, come on. I mean, it's nuanced. It's not always black and white. All right, let's get to more calls, see what they think.
Yeah, I just that always rubs me the wrong way. All right, Robert in Georgia, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
What's up?
First thing, man, Rob, come on, man. You don't ever give LeBron. You try to find holes, and anytime somebody say something positive about LeBron, you try to stick holes in it. Come on, Rob. You gotta do.
No, that's not true. Stop.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
Hate.
Man, but look, I got something to say about one reason why I like LeBron, and the GOAT deal is even weight with me. But
so you don't have a GOAT.
I feel like LeBron don't get credit for because we always say Jordan got all the rings. But look, man, LeBron get knocked down, he get up, he come back, he won. Yeah, you say he went to Miami and all that. But one thing, LeBron had courage enough to leave Cleveland. At the time when Jordan was playing, nobody was doing that. Nobody was doing it. LeBron started it, and everybody followed. So he had courage to do it, number one. Being down 3-1 in the finals against a 7-3 win team, Jordan didn't never have to do that because y'all say, well, he
Why'd
won
you skip over Miami?
Yeah, well, he won 2 in Miami because I agree, but I think the Cleveland championship means more because he came back and he delivered. Okay, his career not over with, guys. We acting like his career over with. If he win one this year, somehow he get 2 more after that. His career not over. The book's still being written.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I mean,
What time is Santa Claus coming to your house tonight?
Look,
Stop.
okay, LeBron had the courage to leave, yes, and Jordan had the courage to stay. I mean, you can look at that either way. So, you can't lift that above the fact that Jordan stayed and gritted it out. So,
Jabril in Atlanta, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got?
Yeah, I actually got Kobe for the GOAT, but I would pick LeBron over MJ, and really because y'all older people, y'all so stuck in y'all ways that y'all won't give our generation no kind of credit. And just by us going off the eye test, because we got YouTube, so y'all always say, well, y'all didn't watch them, but I mean, we got YouTube, so we can watch any game we want to. And just by the eye test, our generation is so much better than y'all generation, basketball-wise.
keep this guy on, Rob. Keep him on. Because you got to give me a little more than the eye test, man. Because that what if I like Shaq better? I mean, everybody got an eye test. Give me some,
I kind of
does
bring
LeBron shoot better? Does LeBron shoot better than Michael Jordan?
Nah, he don't shoot better. It ain't like you said earlier. It's not gonna be just black and white, but just going off of the style of play from back in Jordan era to right now is no competition.
How is it no competition?
And then y'all will tell us this is what y'all say. Oh, well, the league's so watered down now because you can't play real basketball because you can't foul. Well, it's not part of the game.
So how come he doesn't win
Tell me
more?
why,
How come he
right.
doesn't win at a higher clip then? That's what you need to explain. Why hasn't LeBron won?
How many straight
He's lost.
finals he went
He's
to?
lost 6. That's not about going to the final. How come he's lost 6 NBA finals? Explain that.
I mean, he lost 6 finals, but he been up 6 straight times.
Why did he? No, he
don't
went
get no
8
credit
straight
for that.
How
times. He
weak
went 8
that
straight
East
times.
was.
We're asking
Yeah,
you how come he
you're
doesn't
right.
win.
You got to give me more than the eye test. And just the best. I mean, if you're the GOAT, you got to dominate. Right, Rob?
Yes.
You got to have
We're talking about the
dominance.
GOAT. Right.
Not just not individually, but some team dominance.
And we talked about it before, all the players during that time. That Dallas thing, there's a lot of stuff that you would nitpick at, Chris, and be able to say, come on, man, that can't be.
Right.
That he just can't be because of some of these things. And it's harder to find those things in Jordan's thing. Ask all of the Reggie Millers and all the Hall of Famers who were sitting on the side after this documentary going, dude, I played in the wrong era, right?
Right.
I played in the wrong era.
No
I played in the
question.
Michael Jordan era.
All right, Rob. Those last 42 seconds of Game 6 against the Jazz, and that was, of course, the game in which the Bulls won their 6th championship. Here's the question. What Michael Jordan did in that 42 seconds. All right, first of all, the Bulls are down 3. 42 seconds left on the clock. They're down 3 to Utah. He scores on a driving layup over Brian Russell. Then on the next possession for Utah, Jordan steals the ball from the all-time great, Karl Malone, who's a power forward, by the way. Then, without calling a timeout, Jordan comes down, takes the ball up court, and puts a juke move on Brian Russell, clears himself for a mid-range jumper about, 17 feet, and sinks it to win the game. Here's the question. Is that the greatest championship sequence in the history of sports? You want me to throw out a few contenders, or you want to just attack it?
You could do that.
A few other contenders. LeBron's chase down block that led to Kyrie's three-pointer. Tua, his game-winning touchdown pass to beat Georgia after coming off the bench. I know you won't go with this one, but Tom Brady's game-tying touchdown drive followed by a game-winning touchdown drive to beat the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. or Eli Manning's game-winning drive over the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and that one includes the catch, the helmet catch by David Tyree, and the game-winning pass to Plaxico Burress. And you know, there could be something else that I didn't say.
I'm taking Eli Manning's championship play to David Tyree, he avoided traffic to even get that pass off. And then that wasn't to win the game. Like, he threw a lucky ball in the end zone. He still had to throw a touchdown pass to Plaxico Burress to beat a team that had basically destroyed the NFL that year with Tom Brady and Randy Moss. They were 18-0, averaged more than 35 points a game. And somehow, some way, Eli Manning was able to beat that team on the biggest stage in the biggest moment. I still think that to me was the greatest moment I saw because it was just unpredictable. It was something that most people didn't believe was going to happen, especially after Tom Brady put them ahead with 2 minutes to go. You would think that that's a wrap. Tom Brady did what he had to. They were 18-0, and no, Eli came up big with throw after throw. It was an amazing comeback, one I'll never forget.
Obviously a great comeback, incredible plays by the Giants. I go with Jordan because he did every single thing by himself in that sequence. Everything. He drove by Brian Russell, hits the layup. He steals the ball from Karl Malone. There's no timeout. There's no pass, there's no pick. There's no cut that he ran off of, no screen, nothing like that. It was one-on-one, mano a mano, and he sinks the shot. Like, he did that entire thing by himself. Eli, as great as he was, it took this miraculous catch. Now, you're right. Eli, his avoiding the sack was great. But that catch was downright miraculous. I mean, he caught it on his helmet, and it was a guy that David Tyree, who's not even a starter, wasn't even expected to really do much in the game and in the season. And so I think because and that's why I like the LeBron chase down block, great play, but Kyrie hit the shot. So that's two people involved, so
it's hard to count that one. I think.
The fact that Jordan did it all by himself. It wasn't even like, Dennis Rodman knocked the ball away from Malone. No, Jordan just stole the ball. Like, because he did every single thing in that sequence, I got to give it to MJ on that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not going to argue with it with that point. I think the opponent was bigger. The stage was bigger. Not that beating the Utah Jazz, everybody was shocked that Michael Jordan beat the Utah Jazz. That Giants team to beat that Patriots team in that moment is just as big as it gets in sports. I mean, that was for history was on the line. History was on the table for the Patriots, right?
That was a bigger upset. There's a bigger,
right?
Yeah, it was an upset.
Because the other one, right, wasn't an upset.
I would say, heck, I think Kyrie's shot, that was a bigger upset than what Jordan did. Again, Jordan's wasn't even an upset. So I think you're right about the moment was just bigger because, they were beating this 18-0 team, this juggernaut, and they were expected to lose. So I'll give you that. But I just think the last 42 seconds by one player, I've never seen anything like that in a championship sequence. The only thing, honestly, I'm a big boxing fan. What I would compare it to, if we're not talking about a whole fight or a whole game, or we're talking about a sequence, I would say Sugar Ray Leonard at the end of his fight, it was actually the last 2 rounds with Tommy Hearns. Sugar Ray and Leonard Hearns won. When Sugar Ray was being outboxed, being beaten. And Angelo Dundee said in between rounds, you blowing it, kid. And Sugar Ray went out there and just started throwing everything and knocked Hearns out. He had Hearns in trouble. The bell rings. Then he comes back in the next round and just throws everything again. I mean, 13th round, 14th round, you are totally gassed. and he just found it from somewhere. That's the only other thing off the top of my head that I could compare as a sequence in a championship moment to what Jordan did. But it's a interesting situation because Eli, Eli was clutch. You know, we talked last week, we were talking about Tom Brady and game-winning drives in the playoffs. And he's got the most in 13. Elway's second with 6. Montana's got 5. And guess who also has 5? Eli.
Yeah.
So Eli's clutch, man. I mean, he wasn't the best regular season quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, but he had some incredible clutch moments